Welcome to the video version of the Wagner Daily for July 12, 2019. My name is Rick Petticelli, and as usual, this video replaces the written commentary portion of today's report. So let's get to the charts. The Nasdaq Composite's pretty good shape here, in a strong uptrend the past few weeks, holding above the 20-day EMA, and for the most part, just above the 10-day EMA as well. Only had that one shakeout day on 625. It's been in trend mode since the buy signal on 6-7, which worked in the summertime, which is unusual. But the market is up about, well, the Nasdaq's up about 6% from that signal. The S&P 500 also at new highs for the year in a strong uptrend above the 10 and 20-day EMA, looking pretty good. IWM is clear laggard. It's about 4% off the highs of May. But this looks pretty constructive, though. The last dip below the 200-day MA didn't last very long and was met with some big-time buying here over two sessions on 627, 628. And the price action looks to be holding above the 20-day EMA right here. Found support. So what we're looking for over the next week is for IWM to hold the 20. Maybe it undercuts this range lower, maybe not, but we're looking for overall the 154 area to hold on a closing basis, and then for a break of this downtrend line, which could lead to a test of this swing high and potentially even a test of the highs of the year. MDY, the S&P 400, the mid cap, is kind of the same boat as IWM, but not as weak, as it's only about 2.5% or less off the highs of the year. And it also found support off the 20-day EMA today. So we're looking for the price action to hold the 20. As we said with IWM, there could be an undercut, maybe a dip below, and then a reversal back above. But we'd like to see the 20-day EMA hold, and then a reversal back up through this downtrend line, and for the price to take out this 360 area. So overall, broad market conditions are pretty good. There's no reason why we can't be adding new longs and just managing the risk in the individual names, as the overall broad market averages look to be in pretty good shape. On to current open positions, we have AMRN, which we bought on a pullback to the 50-day AMA here on 628. We waited for some momentum to build on the daily chart on 627, and then we bought with a limit order that was triggered on the open on 628. So the position was up as much as 27%. It's pulled back into or stopped just shy of the rising 10-day MA, and it cleared the prior day's high, which could be a trigger for a pullback entry here, as looking for the price action to remain above Wednesday's high with some help from the rising 10-day EMA. But looks pretty good right now. GWPH put in a big reversal bar today. We entered here at the highs, and the entry was basically off the weekly chart. On the right here, we saw this break of the downtrend line and then the false breakout above the downtrend line last week. So we were looking for a move this week through the highs of last week, which happened, but it was pretty ugly right away. Sort of a false trigger, and the price action sold off pretty quickly, about 6% in 2 days, but a nice bullish reversal on heavier volume today, which is great. And now we have two reversal candles in place here at 169. DXCM reports earnings on 7/31. We're long from an entry on a pullback to the 20-day EMA here on 7/3. But the price action's broken the downtrend line, and now there's a one-day pause here. So if DXCM can punch through this 150, say 153.70 area, on volume, it could easily break out to new highs. Roku we purchased on 7/3 over the high of this bullish reversal candle that just stopped just shy of the 50-day MA on 7/2. But if you look at the weekly chart here, the reversal did undercut the 10-week MA, so it's a little bit tricky. If one were to wait for the break of the 50 MA, it's possible it may not come when the stock is strong. But most of the time, if a stock avoids undercutting the 50 on a strong in a strong uptrend, it will touch the 10-week MA. At this point, we're not looking to add to our position in Roku, but if the price action stalls up here and comes back down, we may look to add on a pullback into this 95 area, 96 area. Nothing going on right now, though, just a hold. GH broke the downtrend line 2 days in a row, but stalled yesterday and again on Thursday. I think overall the price action is still looking pretty good. It did close off the highs of the session, but volume wasn't huge. So what I'm looking for over the next few days here is for the price to chop around, I'd say, in this area right here, and then look to take out these highs, provided that broad market conditions remain strong. INSP, we're in from right around here, looking pretty good. There's no reason to sell. It's still holding up fairly well. Cyber is a recent entry over, I believe, 131 here. We're looking for the price action to reclaim the 50 MA and take out the prior week's high, which is a little bit more obvious here on the weekly chart, which it did. And then there was a pretty sharp pullback today, but the 50 MA held. There's also the 10 and 20 EMA here. So that's a good sign so far. And although it hasn't broken the downtrend line, it appears that it wants to hold the 50, so it might chop around in here for a day or two and then attempt to break out again. And run, which we're up about 16% from our entry on 611, which is right here. So it was able to gap up after holding on to the 50 MA, and it's held on to the 10 MA here, and it looks like it's trying to hold the 10 right now, but if it can't get back above this downtrend line, it may have to take out this 920 low and touch the 20-day EMA, which is still okay. In general, we use the 20-day EMA as a selling guide, so if a stock can't hold the 20-day EMA after a strong breakout, we'll probably look to exit, though we'll do so only on a close below the 20-day EMA, just to avoid, if possible, to avoid being shaken out. All right, that's it for open positions. In terms of new setups out there, we have LK, which could break this downtrend line. That's on today's official watch list. Other stocks that are looking pretty good, we have FNKO with this false breakout to 25 and then a pullback, a shakeout below the 50. If it can clear 22, might have a chance to run back up to the prior highs. Tandem gapped above a possible trigger at 66.50 area and stalled at the downtrend line, but should be in pretty good shape as long as it could hold on to the 50 MA here. It may need a few days of chop though, but that's certainly something to continue to monitor for a eventual downtrend line breakout. GCOS cleared its downtrend line and rallied about 20-something percent, 23% before stalling, and now it's formed a tight little handle here. This could be in play with a breakout above 79. Twist is also potentially in play here above 28.50 over the 3-day high. Again, our official setups will be in today's report in the watch list section. GT is another stock we're looking at here. Pretty tight consolidation. If it can get through this downtrend line, could be good for a pop. And for those of you who subscribe to the Wagner Daily, for us, most of our positions are going to be something we look for an outsized gain of 20 to 40% or more. Anything we're looking for a pop would be a shorter term trade of 10 to 20%, 10-15%, especially if the stop is 5-6% away. You're looking for a 2-to-1 on a quick swing trade. But the majority of the time we're looking to enter stocks that are emerging from a valid basing pattern that are potentially ready to move 20 to 40% or more. Mercy is another stock that's looking pretty good here off the 50 MA. It broke its downtrend line, went sideways, and now it's trying to reclaim the 50 MA, which it did so on a pickup on volume Thursday. And on the weekly chart, we can see the price action now is closing potentially above the 10-week MA for the first time on a weekly chart. So pretty bullish price action. One could probably enter here and place a stop about 6-7% away beneath this week's low. And in today's report, I just wanted to go over quickly the power of reversal candles, especially when there's multiple reversals over a short period of time. Like for example, in IBP, we can line up a few things here. This is not an official entry in the newsletter, but we have a downtrend line breakout here and a pullback to that downtrend line. Then we have a shorter term downtrend line, and we have two reversal candles at the 20-day EMA. It'd be a pretty good bet if the price action can get above two reversal bars in a row. It's a bullish sign, and you can have a fairly tight stop beneath those two reversal candles. So anytime you see 2 out of 3 days where there's bullish reversal candles at support, that's generally a good sign. And even here back in the base, we have a bullish reversal candle here, and then we have a strong update here, almost an engulfing candle. And here's just a simple reversal candle in RDN. Reversal candles are pretty easy to spot. RDN doesn't have multiple reversals, but it has a 1, 2, 3 day pullback, an inside bar here. And today's action is a break of the 2-day low that reverses and closes near the highs of the range. So one could look to enter above Thursday's high with a stop beneath Thursday's low. Here's BLD with multiple reversal candles. Tried to break a downtrend line, it failed, but we have this tight range here. There's one reversal candle here and a second on Thursday. So if it can clear this range high, we have two reversal candles holding up, and then we have the 20-day EMA and 50 MA here. So that's a 3% stop. And our last example of a reversal candle is in AVTR, which is a recent IPO that's been in a strong uptrend. And recently it undercut the 20-day EMA, ran stops, and tried to reclaim the 20-day on 710, failed. So we can draw a little downtrend line here. And today's price action stops were run beneath the 2-day low. If AVTR can hold the 20-day EMA from here out, then look for the uptrend to resume. The one thing you have to be careful though on a bullish reversal candle when there's a close near the highs of the day here is the potential for a gap up on the open to attract all the buyers that are looking at this reversal candle that I've scanned the night before. And they'll open this, and at times these type of reversals can open higher and then they'll sell off right away. So what you want to do is possibly give it a 5 minutes or so to see how the price action holds up. Sometimes it'll gap up and pull back into the prior day's high and then hold and then reverse back up. All right, so that's a wrap for tonight's video. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again next week.